Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to go over a Sky News Australia piece about exposing the radical pride agenda. My guess is it's very similar to a lot of the other stuff that we've talked about, with them and targeting kids and all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get into this and see what is
IA
going on.
plus community and freeing them from oppression. But Sky News All-Stars Rita Panahi, Piers Morgan and Douglas Murray argue that Pride Month is no longer about tolerance and acceptance, but about pushing a minority lifestyle onto the majority, with potentially disastrous consequences.
That is disgusting.
Furry pride.
You're taking the wrong flag down, mate.
I don't know that.
At least you know that.
100%. They're going to drop the British flag on the ground.
And rainbow and trans flags are everywhere. Many are asking, is this really an oppressed movement? Doesn't look to be much oppression happening there. I mean, you've got every corporate kosher, every government agency, celebrities, sporting bodies, everybody's coming out pledging allegiance. I mean, really, is this a movement that is faced with oppression, crippling oppression, that it needs a Pride Month?
Wouldn't seem that way. And I think there's 2 months. There's Pride Month and then there's something else in October that comes
there's so many other days as well. I went through this about a week or two ago because there's
like
so
a half
many
a year.
Separate days. There's a day for pronouns. There's a day for, what's it called, Ida Hobbit, International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, Biphobia. There's just a bunch of days, but Pride is a month where we just see saturation coverage almost and of this issue.
It's expanding, so it's not. I think what's happening is there's a conflation of acceptance and inclusion, which most people are good people, and I think regardless of sexual orientation or whatever else it may be, people don't, for the most part, are not prejudiced anymore. But it's being conflated with having it filter down into curriculum, onto stages that children are attending, putting it out in the open. That's the issue, I think, where contention is, and it's sort of getting wrapped up in saying that you're just against the people, which most people are not.
Absolutely.
Pride Month has been around for decades, but Sky News host Rita Panahi argues that the once innocent street party has now become increasingly politicised, with the goal of changing the very fabric of society.
It's definitely been a shift where this is no longer about acceptance and equality. It's become a political movement, and that's how people see it. They see the they see the rainbow or the trans flag as a political symbol, and that's where the objection comes in. It's not against people's lifestyles, it's against being compelled to declare your pronouns or you're a bigot.
Sky News host Piers Morgan and contributor Tommy Laren agree, saying the Pride agenda has been forced onto us and we've had enough.
Now listen, Pride Month is not a new thing. They've been celebrating Pride Month for many, many years, and most American conservatives had no issue with it until it became forceful, until it became the need for acknowledgement, the need for forced celebration, the need for forced validation. That's when you lost people. And then we took LGB and then we added LGBTQIA+++, and then we included men who dress up like women and mock women, like influencer Dylan Mulvaney. And then a lot of American conservatives just said, listen, we've had enough. It's okay if you're proud of your sexuality, but why do I have to be proud of your sexuality? That's where you lost a lot of folks, and we're starting to finally
firstly, I'll say Dylan is
enough
a trans
enough.
woman. Dylan is a woman, so you got that wrong.
And then Joe Biden made Pride Month political by inviting.
So I agree with what Tommy Lauren's saying. The problem here's where I disagree. It is not okay or normal by any stretch of the imagination to be prideful of your sexuality. Do you go around telling people
heterosexual parade?
Well, why would I mean? Right, like obviously the funny argument behind it.
I hope.
Right, but like, does it even make? Well, first of all, like if we go biblically, to have a whole month dedicated to pride is like having a whole month dedicated to one of the 7 deadly sins.
Interestingly enough, they snatched up the rainbow, which was a covenant that God made with man, right, through Noah.
It was Adam and Eve, wasn't it?
Drowned the immoral world.
Oh, that was Noah. The rainbow established in Noah with Noah, not during Adam and Eve.
Yeah, when the when the skies cleared and the water subsided,
it was
and
that one.
Rainbow.
Yeah, but but how about the fact that having pride in sexuality is the weirdest thing. Like, I don't know anybody that has ever gone around like, bro, I'm so straight. Like, what? Nobody does this except for the gays and the rest of the crazy wagon.
Lunatics.
Like, it
is crazy. Our world's turned upside down. And just because you believe that you're a woman when you're actually DNA-wise a man, okay, there used to be a thing called pretend. We used to pretend to be cowboys, and some girls used to pretend to be horses, like when they were in 3rd grade or whatever, and would pretend to be soldiers or whatever it happened to be, or a cowboy or whatever, and or a lion. And but I don't think as kids that any of us thought that any of the adults believed us. They knew we were playing, and we knew we were playing. We knew it was pretend, and we didn't have start up a movement to be accepted as things that we're not. And just because of that, in their mind, twisted as it is, they've got themselves convinced, because it's sexual, that they're a different sex than they are,
right?
And that they want everybody else to fall under that delusion as well. And what's the scripture say? It says they'll be given over to strong delusion, and they'll love to lie, and they'll get teachers who tickle their ear. So and that's where we're at right now. Is because it is a lie. It's not true. They can say whatever they want to do, say whatever. Let me tell you something. As your male DNA, female DNA is different, and men and women are different, but the foundational truths, what's happening is foundational truths are being taken away from our society, and it's not so much that you and I are going to buy it, and that a lot of people today are really going to buy it as far as the majority of the people. What they're going to do is they're indoctrinating through the schools and the education system the children so that they actually believe the lie. Right. And that's where they're going. That's why they're doing all these transgender book readings and all this nonsense, trying to normalize a perverse lifestyle, because that's exactly what it is, a perverse lifestyle. That video that was shown with all those guys out there in their frickin' underwear, whatever the hell they were wearing, and Speedos, that's normal. It's nonsense.
Right.
It's absolute nonsense. And they just want to have a big frickin' gay parade everywhere they can, and they want to, like Sodom and Gomorrah, and it's wrong. And they're biting off more than they're going to be able to chew, because at some point it's gonna turn around, and they're gonna be awakened to the fact that they are what they were born, DNA wise. And it's if you can say anything, and everybody has to believe what you say you are. I mean, you and I, we could say that we're the King of England or the Queen of England, and then demand that the world accepts that.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of nonsense is that? It's you wouldn't want somebody to you hire a plumber because your sinks are stopped up and water's going all over your floor, and then you hire a plumber, and then he shows up and is working away, and they charge you a couple $100 an hour or whatever it is, and he doesn't have the first idea what he's doing because he's never worked on plumbing before, and he's not a plumber. He was actually a grocery boy or a cab driver or a whatever. And but he says, well, my inner self, I'm a plumber. And what now you're required to pay him, and he doesn't fix a damn thing because he's not a plumber.
Right.
And that's skill and all that stuff goes with it, And like I say, is they're just breaking up the traditional, just the foundational elements of our life and of all the decisions that man should be making. Is it right or is it wrong? Is it true or is it not? And these guys are liars, all of them. And they're lying, and you're supposed to accept it. So, fine and dandy, go ahead. So when you ask them if you didn't like molest my kids while I was babysitting there, did you sue with the 5 o'clock shadow? And she goes, no, I didn't. And they come to find out that Sue did. And well, what do you expect? You hired a liar.
Right.
You hired a liar. What? Plain and simple. And now I know that there's some gays coming out saying that, and we're really offended, about the LGBTQ community with the way that they're going with the transgenders, and that's not us, and it's like, because you guys are the normal guys. It started with you guys.
Yep.
It started with you, and you pushed that agenda down our throats. Terrible frickin' comparison, probably, but. Is and now the rest of the clowns come out of the closet.
Yep, and they open the door up for it.
Sure, they
besides
did.
pushing it, they invited the door because there's power in numbers.
Oh yeah, the same argument: tolerance. Don't be a hater. Don't be a homophobe.
Right.
The name calling and the embarrassment and the accusations and all that. It's BS. And eventually, if the normal people are smart, they'll get tired of it quickly and put it into it before they corrupt all of the normal people's kids.
Right.
And I don't know. We'll see. I don't have a whole lot of hope for it, though.
No, I know. All right, guys. If you guys like this video, comment down below, like and subscribe, and I recommend getting vocal about being, start being vocal about pushing against a lot of this particular movement's.
It's radical.
Yeah, this particular movement's trajectory. Because there's one thing of having rights, it's a whole nother thing to try to basically take over society as an entirety. So, again, comment down below, like and subscribe, and see you guys on the next one.
Semper Fi.